Good evening, good evening. What's going on, folks? Blitzball Champ is back here live, bringing forth another pro wrestling talk here on the U to the Two, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Whew, what a day it has been for pro wrestling history. We got a good bit to talk about, and I only have but so much time to talk about it because I got to get me some rest so I can be up for the Stardom In Showcase Volume 1 pay-per-view at 4 in the morning. So I'll try to get through this rather quickly, but try to get much out of this. So, got quite a bit to talk about. There's some updates to the Stardom In Showcase Volume 1 card that I wanted to mention. We got the ROH Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view, so I'll preview that. I'll go over the current standings of the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 32. I'll also go through the current standings of the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling Tokyo Princess Cup tournament that's been going on as well. Vince McMahon is retiring. The biggest, grandest news of the day. He is stepping down from his roles as CEO, chairman, head of creative. He's retiring. And I originally thought to myself that this was either the biggest work ever or the biggest breaking news in pro wrestling history. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk a little AEW as well and just some other things, but it's been a crazy day for pro wrestling. Very crazy day. We're Vince McMahon is going to be the main event of this live stream for sure. So we're going to get into the other things, knock those out, and then we're going to get to the main event, Vince McMahon. So first off, I do want to talk Stardom right quick. So there's been some changes to the Stardom In Showcase Volume 1 card. Unfortunately, some of the ladies are out with injuries. So once again, the injury bug strikes again. It hasn't been a good year for injuries in pro wrestling. Has not been a good year. It's been a year loaded with them. So here are the current changes to the card for Stardom In Showcase. So first off, the Cosmic Rules match will now be a three-way match, a triple threat match. It'll be Mina Shirakawa versus Unagi Sayaka versus Saki. So Natsupoi will be out of this match, unfortunately. She'll be out of this match due to injury / poor physical condition. So there's a change there. The Nagoya Rumble will now include Lady C and Mirai. So it'll include Lady C and Mirai, and there'll be one name missing from the Nagoya Rumble. So everybody else will be there except for one missing name, and Lady C and Mirai gets added to the Nagoya Rumble. So that's the second change. The Power and Tower tag team match is now a tag team match. It's no longer a triple threat tag team match. So it will be Himeka and Maika taking on Ami Sourei and Saya Ida. Because unfortunately, Utami Hayashishita is out due to poor physical condition as well. And because Lady C was her tag team partner, Lady C got moved to the Nagoya Rumble. So there's a change there. We got the I Quit match. The I Quit match is now a singles match with Shuri versus Kurumi Hiragi. So Akane Fujita was out with injury, poor condition as well. Inspection of injuries. So she's out with injuries. So that means that Kurumi Hiragi will be on her own in a singles match against Shuri. And because originally Mirai was Shuri's tag team partner, Mirai got moved to the Nagoya Rumble. So it'll now be a singles match, singles I Quit match. And Waka Tsukiyama is out with injury, so she is the one that will miss the Nagoya Rumble. She was originally supposed to be in the Nagoya Rumble, but she'll be missing the Nagoya Rumble due to injury. So those are mainly the changes to this Stardom In Showcase card. So, it's a bummer. Injuries, never good. But, thankfully they were able to make the proper adjustments and the show will go on. Should still be a great pay-per-view. Looking forward to it. So, like I said, I'll be catching that in a couple of hours. So that's all that I have for Stardom. So Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, the Tokyo Princess Cup tournament. We've already had a couple of matches happen that were really good. So just a quick review of the Tokyo Princess Cup matches that have taken place. We had Pam Harajuku versus Moka Miyamoto. Pretty decent match, not too long, but Pam Harajuku got the victory, so she advances. Yuki Arai versus Mahiro Kuryu was actually good as well. Yuki Arai was able to dethrone Mahiro Kuryu, so she advances. Shoko Nakajima, the big kaiju, was able to put down Haruna Neko. It was a decently long match, but the champion, the Princess champion, advances in the first round. And then we had Hyper Misao and the ace, Miyu Yamashita, which Miyu Yamashita was able to get the victory, but Hyper Misao looked really good in this match. She looked really good in this match. Miyu did not win that match easily, so just wanted to throw that out there. But that was a really good match between those ladies. But the ace, the pink striker, advances. We also had Miyu Watanabe versus Arisu Endo, which was a really good match. That was a really good match. But the power wrestler, Miyu Watanabe, was able to get the victory. Therefore, she advances. We had Kaya Toribami taking on the magical girl, Yuka Sakazaki. Another good match. The magical girl was able to get the victory to advance. We had Yuki Aino versus Nao Kakuta, which this one was kind of hard to pick because this was back and forth. This one was really hard to pick, but Nao Kakuta was able to get the victory and she advances to the next round. And we had the White Dragon, Rika Tatsumi, dethrone Yuki Kamifuku, which was also a really good match as well. Rika Tatsumi's been looking really strong as usual. And, she had a really, really, really good wrestling match not too long ago against the big kaiju. Almost beat her, but I'm sure she's going to continue to look strong in this tournament. But for now, Rika Tatsumi dethrones Kamiyu to advance to the next round. And then we also had Miyu Yamashita taking on Raku, which this wasn't too long of a match, but Miyu Yamashita pretty much got that victory pretty convincingly. And therefore, she would advance from the second round to the third round. And then Hikari Noa went up against Yuki Arai, and Hikari Noa was able to defeat Yuki Arai, and therefore Hikari Noa advances to the third round. And word is that Yuki Arai is interested in coming to the States for an excursion. That should be really cool. We already know that Mizuki, the popping sugar rabbit, will be making her way to the States. She'll be competing at DPW, which I will be at that show. So looking forward to that. But yeah, we're starting to see a lot more Joshis and a lot more Japanese talent coming over to the States to compete. Konosuke Takeshita has been doing his thing for quite a while now on multiple promotions in the U.S. So, hey, I'm all for it. So, that's all that's been going on so far. Taking a look at the brackets. So, word is we're supposed to have the big kaiju, Shoko Nakajima, face Mizuki, but apparently Mizuki has been suffering from a fever. So word is that she won't be able to compete, and therefore Shoko Nakajima will get a bye. So therefore she will advance to the third round. Let's see. So that means she will advance and face Miyu Watanabe. So Shoko Nakajima will face Miyu Watanabe on July 31st. So we know that's one matchup. We know that, let's see, Nao Kakuta will face Miyu Yamashita in the third round on July 31st as well. So those are two third round matchups. And then we know we're going to have Hikari Noa versus the magical girl Yuka Sakazaki in the third round on the 31st of July. We're also going to see Suzume versus Pam Harajuku. Yeah, Pam Harajuku. On actually tomorrow, the 23rd. And the winner of that match will move on to the third round to face Rika Tatsumi. So our third round matchups are almost fully sealed. So far for third round, Shoko Nakajima versus Miyu Watanabe. That's one. Miyu Yamashita versus Nao Kakuta. That's another one. Yuka Sakazaki versus Hikari Noa. That's a third one. And then Rika Tatsumi will await the winner between Suzume and Pam Harajuku. So that's how the Tokyo Princess Cup tournament is looking so far. Still a lot to see. But yeah, the third round matchups will take place on the 31st of July. The semifinals will be on August 13th. And the grand finals, the finals, will be on August 14th. So that's the upcoming schedule for the Tokyo Princess Cup tournament. So a lot to look forward to there. Okay. So now that I got that out of the way, let's look at the current standings of the G1 Climax number 32. So looking at the A block first. So right now, at 0 points in the A block are Jonah, Filthy Tom Lawler, Jeff Cobb, and Lance Archer. Now, we know that Jeff Cobb lost against Okada. Filthy Tom Lawler hasn't had his match yet. Jonah lost to Toriano. And Lance Archer lost to Bad Luck Fale, which I was kind of surprised at that. I did not expect him to lose to Bad Luck Fale. But sitting with 2 points in the A block so far are Bad Luck Fale, Toru Yano, and Kazuchika Okada. So all three of them with 2 points. All right, the B block. The B block right now, sitting at 0 points, are Tomohiro Ishii, Sanada, The Great Okan, and Chase Owens. So we know that Chase Owens lost to Tama Tonga. We know that Sanada lost to Jay White. We know that Tomohiro Ishii lost to Taichi. And The Great Okan hasn't wrestled a match yet. So he still hasn't wrestled a match. So yeah, the B block with 2 points, Tama Tonga, Taichi, and Switchblade Jay White. All right, let's look at the C block. So far with 0 points, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kenta, Tetsuya Naito, and Evil. So let's look at the C block. We know that Kenta lost to Zack Sabre Jr. We know that Evil still hasn't had a match yet. Hiroshi Tanahashi lost to Aaron Hanare, which that was a big upset. That was a huge upset. So far, I think that's probably, that's even a bigger upset than Hiroki Goto over Tetsuya Naito. So right now, I feel like that's the biggest upset of the G1 Climax 32 right now. Aaron Hanare over Hiroshi Tanahashi. That was big. I did not see that coming. But yeah, so sitting with 2 points in the C block are Aaron Hanare, Zack Sabre Jr., and Hiroki Goto. And then looking at the D block, sitting at 0 points are David Finlay, Shingo Takagi, El Phantasmo, and Yoshihashi. So for the D block, Yoshihashi hasn't wrestled yet. El Phantasmo lost to Will Ospreay. Dave Finlay lost to Yujiro Takahashi. Let's see. Shingo Takagi lost to Juice Robinson. That was actually a pretty big upset as well. That was a pretty big upset as well. Now that I think about it. But yeah, sitting at 2 points of the D block, Yujiro Takahashi, Juice Robinson, and Will Ospreay. So quite an interesting start so far in the G1 Climax 32. But just a quick one over of the folks with points. Okada with 2 points, Toru Yano with 2 points, Bad Luck Fale with 2 points in the A block. B block, Jay White, Taichi, Tama Tonga have 2 points. Block C, Aaron Hanare, Zack Sabre Jr., Hiroki Goto have 2 points. Block D, Will Ospreay, Juice Robinson, Yujiro Takahashi with 2 points. Hey, Bushin Ryu Cat. Good evening. Got out of work and checking in, making sure after Vince retiring you were okay. Oh, it's quite a shock. We're definitely going to get into it. I'm saving that for the main event of the video. But we're definitely going to get into it. Is that a Shuri tee you got? Why, yes, it is. It's one of her most recent ones. Even though it's a Donna Del Mundo shirt, it's Shuri holding the World of Stardom Championship. And this is one of 2 shirts because I have her other shirt as well, where she doesn't have the belt. You know what? Just call me Mike, my real name. Oh, Mike's your real name? Well, Jason's my real name. Will do. But yeah, I'm still hoping that God's Eye will get some merch soon because I want a God's Eye shirt. So hopefully God's Eye will get some merch as well. But yeah, so that's the G1 Climax number 32 current standings. They're going to have night 4 tomorrow. So looking forward to that. Let's see. And then we got New Japan NJPW Strong High Alert in Charlotte, North Carolina, which I will be attending on Sunday. It's going to be at the Grady Cole Center, which is in downtown Charlotte. Looking forward to that. It's got quite an interesting card on here. Just wanted to go over the card right quick. We got JR Kratos versus Drew Adler, 15-minute match. I assume JR Kratos is going to win that. We got a tag team match, a very interesting tag team match here. We got Ren Narita and Kushida teaming up to take on the Workhorsemen, made up of J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry. I'm looking forward to this tag team match. I actually really like the Workhorsemen, and I'm also a big fan of Kushida. I've met Kushida, so looking very forward to this match as well. Should be really good. Sunday, same day I'm renting Death Before Dishonor. So you're watching it on Sunday, even though it's Saturday? Oh, okay. I guess you're gonna rent the archive? But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go over the card for Death Before Dishonor because they added some more matches. Let's see. As much as I would like JD Drake and Anthony Henry to win, Kushida and Ren Narita might pull it off, but I'm a pull for JD Drake and Anthony Henry. I like the Workhorsemen. Yeah, Mike. It's Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday. All good. We got a 15-minute match. John Schuyler versus Lucky Ali. Two wrestlers I'm very familiar with, so I'm not too sure who I would pick for that one. That's a tough one. John Schuyler might win, but I'm going to go for Lucky Ali. We got Rocky Romero versus one half of FTR, Dax Harwood. Ooh, this should be good. This should be really good. By the way, I'm front row for this. Anyway, I like both gentlemen, but I gotta go with Dax Harwood. I think he's gonna pull it off. I think he's definitely gonna pull it off. Adam H, welcome to the stream. Did you see Anthony Henry put over Takeshita on AEW Dark? He made him look like gold. Absolutely. And let me tell you what, I'm actually a big fan of Anthony Henry. I've been following Anthony Henry since Evolve, and dude is a phenomenal wrestler. I mean, I was there for the PWX main event where Anthony Henry took on Minoru Suzuki, and he was able to hang with the Murder Grandpa. Like, phenomenal main event. Anthony Henry, he hits hard. The dude hits hard. And like I said, I like how busy he stays. I mean, he's going to be at Death Before Dishonor. He's going to be at High Alert. He's going to be at the next upcoming DPW show. Anthony Henry, he's a beast. Keep an eye on him. And Konosuke Takeshita has been making the best use of his excursion here in the States. He's been staying busy, and let me tell you what, he's got quite a fan base here in the States. So I see bright things for Konosuke Takeshita. Definitely like what I've been seeing. Eddie Kingston versus Jake something. That should be very interesting. But I got to go with Eddie Kingston. But Jake something, don't sleep on him. He's pretty good too. Don't sleep on Jake something. We got a triple threat match. Clark Connors versus El Desperado versus Hiromu Takahashi. Oh, this is going to be pretty dang on good. But I got to go with the time bomb. Got to go with the time bomb, Hiromu Takahashi. Mike says Takeshita has more talent in one hand than all of the factory on AEW. He should wrestle Kenny Omega when Kenny Omega returns. I'd be down. I mean, shoot, he was able to hang with John Moxley, took him to the limit. Shoot. Oh yeah, he can hang with him. was able to hang with Eddie Kingston as well. That Japanese fighting spirit. Don't sleep on it now. Let's see. Oh, we also got a tag team match. Elliott Russell and Sigmund versus Kevin Knight and the DKC. I'm picking Kevin Knight and the DKC. We got TJP versus Mascara Dorada. For those that don't know, Mascara Dorada is Grand Metalik back when he was in WWE. Same guy. But yeah, that was Grand Metalik. And this is so ironic that this match is happening at High Alert. Because remember, Grand Metalik versus TJP was the finals of the Cruiserweight Classic. Y'all remember the Cruiserweight Classic? This is a rematch of the finals of the Cruiserweight Classic here at NJPW Strong High Alert. So this should be an excellent, excellent match. And honestly, I don't know who to pick. I don't know who to pick. You know what? I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a gamble. I'm going to go with Mascara Dorada to pick up the upset. I'm going to pick him to pick up the upset over TJP. We got a heavyweight big man showdown. Hickalyo versus Big Damo. Big Damo, a.k.a. Killian Dane. Probably Hickalyo will get the victory. I think he'll get the victory. And then, of course, what I assume will be the main event will be the finals, the grand finals of the Strong Openweight Tag Team Championship. That's right. The inaugural tag team champions will be crowned at High Alert. I'm looking so forward to that. Don't know who's in the semifinals yet. We'll find out on Sunday, but I'm looking so forward to this. This is the fourth. Wait. This is the third or fourth New Japan Pro Wrestling show that's come to the Carolinas. So I'm definitely looking very forward to this. The last one I went to was in Durham, which was the New Beginning, was a lot of fun, a whole lot of fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to High Alert. Like I said, I have a front row seat to it, so should be fun. Looking so forward to it. Agreed. The CWC should come back as its own WWE show, maybe on Fox. Triple H should be in charge. It's funny that you say that, Mike, because I don't know if you heard, Triple H is back in his role as EVP of Talent Relations. So we'll see what happens. But Triple H has his role back as EVP of Talent Relations. Because I would love to see another CWC. I would love to see another Mae Young Classic. I would love to see another WWE Evolution pay-per-view. And sure enough, it could happen. Maybe this will be the door that we get to see it again. Keep an eye out. It could happen. I hope it happens. The Cruiserweight Classic was phenomenal. That was a phenomenal tournament. Both Mae Young Classics. Excellent. So I definitely hope we get to see some of those things again. Okay. So I gotta be honest. Mike says, and WWE could strike a deal with the Japanese promotions, DDT, for example, to compete. Well, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if some sort of negotiations attempt to happen with, you know, not only that, but word is Tony Khan is open to the idea of a WWE AEW cross promotion show. Even he's open to it. So you never know. You never know. DDT DDT would be an interesting partnership. With WWE, that would be an interesting partnership. That would be an interesting partnership. But we'll see. We'll see. I feel like negotiations, like any sort of partnerships outside the norm, would definitely be on the table at some point in time. But let's see. Just a couple of quick things. So, first of all, it was good to see. Oh, AEW specifically. So, Cole Carter, formerly Two Dimes, I believe, as part of Tony D'Angelo's crew, competed against Absolute Ricky Starks for the FTW Championship and actually looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. It's good to see him get an opportunity in AEW. The guy's not bad. The guy's not bad at all. I hope he gets more opportunities, to be honest with you. So I thought that was really cool. Christian Cage and Luchasaurus destroyed the Varsity Blondes. Jungle Boy finally returned with chair in hand. Luchasaurus stepped in front of him to shield him from Christian. And then all of a sudden, he moved out of Jungle Boy's way and let Jungle Boy chase after him. Now, could this be that Luchasaurus is back to being loyal to Jungle Boy? Or could this be another setup? It's still hard to say. He didn't put his hands on Jungle Boy. He let him pass after a moment to go try to get the Christian Cage. So, I don't know, y'all. Is Luchasaurus, is he putting on a front? Kind of hard to say. He might be putting on a front. This storyline has been getting interesting and interesting. And now that Jungle Boy just came back, we have to see what direction it turns. So, keep an eye out. Adam H says Christian's work has been too good for this not to be a swerve, and that's a fair argument. That is a very fair argument. Hey, very possible, very possible. I got to be honest. That whole Smart Mark Sterling Tony Nese relationship kind of annoys me, but still trying to do this whole get Swerve Strickland removed, and it backfired once again. And Smart Mark got a face full of cake. But, oh, by the way, the new t-shirts for Swerve in Our Glory look really cool. I might have to order me a shirt. Swerve and Keith Lee. I love it. I love it. And, you know, shout out to Keith Lee, man. You know, it's been quite a ride for him. Had the bad health scare. Wasn't sure if he was going to make it. Had, you know, death in the family. His trainer passed. Keith Lee's going through a lot. Overcome the health scare. Got married to Mia Yim. Has a place in AEW. I'm very happy for Keith Lee. I'm glad that he was able to pull through and continue his wrestling career. Not to mention, he had an Itachi hoodie on. He had an Itachi hoodie on that night. I thought that was pretty cool. Got to remember, Keith Lee is an anime fan. So, very happy for Keith Lee. Very happy where he's at now. And, you know, I'm proud of him. Swerve, always enjoyed Swerve. Definitely like what they're doing with him. And I hope they have a decent title run. I really do. I really do. It was good to see more Best Friends in action. Had a great tag team match going up against Wheeler Yuta and John Moxley. Definitely was really good. Wheeler Yuta had a lot of action in that match. and actually ended up getting the victory using that patent buckled up seatbelt clutch that he likes to use. So I thought he looked really good and building some momentum for heading towards Death Before Dishonor. Mike says, Swerve is interesting. On an earlier independent show, he actually turned on a face teammate, threw him off a scaffolding. He's up to something. Yeah, I did hear about that. And not only that, he won another set of tag titles, apparently with the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. So I was just like, huh. So he's got 2 sets of tag titles now. So, but that's the thing, you know, Swerve can be a heel, Swerve can be a face. I feel like he plays both very well, to be honest with you. I just always thought he was one of those that could play both. So, hey, I'm not hating it. But Darby Allin, Brody King went at it. And once again, Brody King is still undefeated against Darby Allin. Poor Darby Allin can't catch a break. He was able to get in a little bit of offense, but just Brody King was just too much for Darby Allin. Just too much. So now Brody King is 4-0-1 against Darby Allin. Poor Darby. Can't slay the king. Adam H says, I like best friends, but man, I'm tired. I'm getting tired of watching Trent clutch at that neck. Work or not, that's just anxiety inducing. Yeah. The next injuries, the neck surgeries, they're no joke. You know, makes me think about him, Edge, Lita, who else? Paige, Big E, oh man, pray for Big E. There's no telling. I'm guessing probably maybe late 2023 is when I could see Big E possibly return to in-ring action. But, and you know, thinking about it, after seeing what happened with Tyson Kidd, whoo, man. Yeah. Them neck injuries, they're no joke. You just, I can't relate, but I can imagine that you're not the same after suffering those. Not saying that you can't bounce back, but I would imagine that you're not the same after dealing with that. Speaking of necks, Darby got dropped right onto his. He was almost a foot too low for that finish. Brutal. Oh yeah, the Gonzo bomb. And the way Brody picked him up was just, it was just crazy. Kurt Angle wrestled with a freaking broken neck. Wrestler better buck up. Oh man, if only it were that easy. If only it were that easy. But like I said, I can't relate. I've never had that type of injury before, so I can't relate. I was kind of bummed to see both Athena and Willow Nightingale lose to Lame Smallgill and Kiera Hogan. And Jermaine Dupri was there. Like, what the heck is Jermaine Dupri doing there? Like, what? But once again, they need to get that title off of Jade Cargill. She's had that title long enough, and now she's been undefeated, like for what 500 days, or held the title 500 days. She done passed. Supposedly she done passed Goldberg's record. And let me tell you right now, she better not pass Asuka's record. Tony Khan, I'm not playing with you. Jade Cargill better not pass Asuka's record. I'm not even kidding. I'm sorry, but Jade Cargill is not great. She is not that good. Yeah. She's big, she's tall, she's athletic, but she's Raka-Khan 2.0, if you ask me. Mike says, I promise you, Jade will only lose the TBS title in a 3-way. Oh, so that she doesn't get pinned? Man, shoot. She deserves to get pinned. If she gonna get they gonna get that title off of her, somebody better pin her. Shoot. Bump a triple threat. She need to get pinned. I want her to get pinned. I won't rest until she's pinned. I want her pinned. And no count out, no DQ, no interference. I want her pinned straight up. But we'll see. You make a good point, though. You make a good point. The main event, oh, man. The main event, the barbed wire everywhere, that was such a sloppy match. Such a sloppy match. Like, to be honest, I don't know what it is about barbed wire matches and such that AEW's done, but it hasn't been good. It hasn't been that good. I think that's something that they may want to like work on or maybe kind of shelve for a bit until they can get that right, because they haven't been able to get that right. And looks like Ty J is still a thing, and now Anna Jay has gone heel. But I mean, I'm not really surprised. It's Ty J. Ty J remains strong. They're besties. So I guess it's safe to say that Anna Jay has joined the JAS and is no longer with the Dark Order. So she's back with her bestie. But once again, Jericho, the numbers game, even though Blackpool Combat Club came in later, Jericho still gets the last laugh over Eddie Kingston. But he did get tossed onto the bed of barbed wire. So, I mean, there was that. But still, another victory over Eddie Kingston. So, Anna Jay needs to go to heel school. That little wave just will not translate. Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw it coming, but yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. Definitely could use some work. Mike says, I'm okay with that. More women tag teams. I'm ready for a women's tag title tournament. Tag team title tournament. Gotcha. Would be nice, but something tells me they're building up for trios titles. But then again, who knows? I mean, they can build up some more tag teams. Perhaps they can make it work. I mean, they've even had a women's tag team tournament before. Had a women's tag team cup tournament before. So I mean, you know, they can get enough talent. They could do it. They could do it. Just the right sort of matchups. They could do it. But I can only imagine the day that comes when Eddie Kingston wins a championship in AEW. It's eventually going to happen, but I don't think they're in any rush. But I can imagine the crowd pop when Eddie Kingston finally wins a championship in AEW. It's only a matter of time. Rampage was all right. The Lee Moriarty heel turn against Dante Martin, him getting the victory using the ropes. I mean, I'm not too surprised. I think some seeds have been planted leading to this heel turn. So I'm not surprised at that outcome. But looks like we're going to get Lee Moriarty against Matt Sydal soon. So that should be good. Britt Baker back in tag team action with Jamie Hayter. Went up against Sky Blue and Ashley D'Ambrose, which poor Sky Blue. I would like to see Sky Blue showcase more and see her pick up some victories. I want to see Sky Blue pushed just a little bit. I want to see her get pushed. And then John Silver and Hangman Adam Page dethroned Butcher and the Blade. The Blade had a really nasty cut, too. I think it was under his eye. But, Eddie would be a good pick for that All-Atlantic title. Sending him abroad to defend it would be so fun to watch. I'd be down. Eddie maybe could win the All-Atlantic title. What's Pat going to do with that anyway? Well, Pat recently defended it at Rev Pro against Shota Umino. So, if anything, I just feel like it's going to be one of those internationally defended titles, I assume. So, I'm thinking it's going to be probably the most defended title out of AEW internationally. So, that's what I'm thinking. But we'll see. It could definitely serve as an open door for AEW talent to get this title and to go overseas. That's how I see it. The rap battle. The rap battle was pretty entertaining. It was very entertaining. Like, oh man, Austin Gunn. He did pretty well. He did pretty well. Channeled Bobby Lashley, John Cena. I was like, okay, he brought some fire in that rap battle, but he wasn't gonna beat Max Caster. And Lil Scrappy was the judge. I'm like, oh my God, Lil Scrappy was the judge. Oh man, that was funny. That was a very entertaining rap battle. Very entertaining. Like, whoo. That's one for the archives for sure. But that was a very entertaining rap battle. But honestly, I felt like that was the best part of Rampage was that rap battle. I mean, Christopher Daniels, Jay Lethal was all right, but I mean, numbers game. So Jay Lethal got the last laugh, even put Christopher Daniels in the Coquina clutch. I just hope at some point Christopher Daniels gets that eye fixed. He needs to get that eye fixed or wear an eye patch. That's scary. Okay, before we go into the main event, let's get some ROH Death Before Dishonor predictions in, shall we? Let's go through this card because they added some matches onto this card. So it looks like some of these matches are going to be on the pre-show, 7 p.m. Looks like 4 of the matches are going to be on the pre-show. I'm going to see Rampage at home, so I'm bailing. We'll catch the rest later. Enjoy the high impact show, brother. Much love. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming by. And be sure to check out the rest of the archive whenever you get to it. And enjoy Rampage and Death Before Dishonor. All right, let's take a look at this card. We got the Shinobi Shadow Squad. Ooh, a name I haven't heard in a while. Taking on the Trust Busters. So the Shinobi Shadow Squad, it looks like, I think that's Eli Isom and Cheeseburger. I think that's who that is. Going up against Slim J and Ari Daivari. Whoo, man. You know what? I'm gonna go with Shinobi Shadow Squad. They'll probably lose, but I'm gonna go for them. I'm gonna definitely go for them. So Shinobi Shadow Squad. I'm picking them. All right. We got a singles match that I'm actually looking very forward to. We got Colt Cabana taking on Anthony Henry. This will be a great test for Anthony Henry. That dude's been staying busy. I do think Colt Cabana will win, but I'm hoping that Anthony Henry gets plenty of time to really get put over and shine. Like I said, even if he doesn't win, I hope Anthony Henry gets plenty of showcase in this match against a veteran like Boom Boom, Colt Cabana. We got a very interesting six-man tag. We got Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony going up against Tony Deppen, Alex Zane, and Blake Christian. Ooh, man. I like that team of Alex Zane, Blake Christian, and Tony Deppen. That's a strong team. Oh, man, but I just don't see them beating Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. And they're accompanied by Tully Blanchard, too. So I think Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony will win, but I'm going to be rooting for the other team. And then we have a very interesting matchup here. The women's division. We got Allison Kay, AK-47, taking on Willow Nightingale. Ooh, Allison Kay. Pinkies up. This should be a very good match. This actually could go either way. But you know what? Allison Kay, she's that girl. She's a queen. Should be good, but I'm going to have to go with pinkies up, Allison Kay for the victory. Although it's good to see Willow Nightingale get some action here on Ring of Honor. You know, she's been busy as well. And hopefully she can get her visa eventually and she'll finally get to travel and compete in Japan like she was supposed to before with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, but wasn't able to get her travel requirements in. But I'm picking Allison Kay to defeat Willow Nightingale. All right, let's go into the meat, to the meat of the main card of Death Before Dishonor. We have the Battle of the Brothers. Roosh taking on Dragon Lee. Oh, man. Battle of the Brothers. Roosh and Dragon Lee. I don't know how many times they faced each other or what the series record is between these two brothers, but man, these two know each other well in and out. Adam H says Roosh 100%, biggest slam dunk of the night. Oh, I was pumped when saw him get paired with Andrade El Idolo. I was very pumped. So, big Roosh fan. I've seen Roosh live before. Dude is a beast. El Toro Blanco has one of the best corner drop kicks. That bullhorns, oh man. The way the recipients sell that corner drop kick, the way Roosh gives that bullhorns, whew, that's a drop kick. That's a running drop kick for you. That's a running corner drop kick. But I do have to go with Roosh to beat his younger brother, but won't be easy. Won't be easy. But I am picking Roosh to win. And surprisingly, check it out. We got the ROH World 6-Man Tag Team Championships on the line at Death Before Dishonor. The Righteous will defend against Dalton Castle and the Boys. And I believe these are the original Boys as well. These are the original Boys. So, ooh, man. Titles that Dalton Castle and the Boys have held before. Ooh, man. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to go with Dalton Castle and the boys to become the new ROH World 6-Man Tag Team Champions. Going to go with Dalton Castle and the boys. I'm going to take a chance. All right, we got the ROH Women's World Championship on the line as the Latina sensation, the champion, Mercedes Martinez, defends against the Professor, Serena Deeb. And you know something? I think Serena Deeb is going to pull it off. I'm picking Serena Deeb to become the new ROH Women's World Champion. I think it's going to be a great match. These are two longtime veterans in the game. But I'm thinking Serena Deeb's going to get the victory and become the new champ. Starting with Deeb, I would love to see all 5 titles up the card change hands. It'll never happen, but I like all the challengers better. That's understandable. Totally understandable. We got the ROH Pure Championship match on the line. Wheeler Yuta, the champion, defends against Red Death Daniel Garcia. It's the Decoder versus Red Death. Ooh, man. And this is a Pure Rules match. Oh, man. This is a hard one to pick. This is a really hard one to pick because Daniel Garcia, perfect for ROH, but so is Wheeler Yuta. And Wheeler Yuta has been getting a lot of shine since joining the Blackpool Combat Club, since competing at the Best of Super Juniors. Oh, man. I'll be pulling for Wheeler Yuta to retain, but it would not surprise me if Daniel Garcia won. It would not surprise me at all. I like both of these guys. This is the type of match that suits them the best. Honestly, this could end up being match of the card. This could be match of the card. But I am confident that it won't disappoint. Very confident. Adam H says, having a second title in Blackpool Combat Club does little for that faction. Having gold in the JAS would look pretty good. And that is true. Nobody in JAS has gold right now. So that is a fair point. It would be a big victory for Daniel Garcia for sure. So it wouldn't surprise me if he pulled it off, but I'm a big Wheeler Yuta fan. I've met Wheeler Yuta. Really cool guy, really chill guy. So I'm going to go for him, but it wouldn't surprise me if Daniel Garcia won. All right. We got the ROH World Television Championship on the line as the champ, Samoa Joe, defends against Jay Lethal. Somebody that has held this title before, actually held this and the ROH World Championship title at the same time before. Had a pretty dang on long reign with both. Oh, man. Do they pull it off? Do they pull the trigger and have Jay Lethal dethrone Samoa Joe? Oh, man. This is a really hard one. I assume Jay Lethal will have the numbers game. But, oh, man. You know what? I just, Samoa Joe, he's the man with or without a title. But I just feel like the interference in the numbers game is going to be the deciding factor. So I got to go with Jay Lethal. Adam H says, I wasn't pulling for Lethal until that fiery solo promo. He sold me on it there. Oh, yeah? Yeah. And he's going into this with momentum. With a lot of momentum. But I feel like the numbers game. I feel like there's going to be some interference. And that's going to be the deciding factor that puts the title on Jay Lethal. But it should be good. Should be very interesting. All right. We got the ROH World Tag Team titles on the line in a 2 out of 3 falls match. The champs, FTR, will defend against the Briscoes. I kind of have mixed feelings about this. Now, I like both of these teams. I mean, FTR, they're from North Carolina, just like me. I'm already not a fan of FTR holding 3 sets of titles. I'm not. And then there's already a lot of folks that I've talked to that want FTR to win the AEW tag titles and have 4 sets of titles. And I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree with that. Like, multiple championships is so overrated now because it happens so much. So I love FTR. I love the Briscoes, and I believe the Briscoes are staying with ROH from what I've heard. Could be wrong, but that's what I've heard, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to say the Briscoes. Mainly because nothing against FTR, but I just don't want FTR holding 3 sets of titles. I don't. They don't need 3 sets of titles. You know, it's just like one of my friends was telling me, you know, they need all these titles, you know, to be the top tag team. And I'm like, are they not the top tag team already? Like, and I understand the Young Bucks beat them, but it's like, okay, they're still a very tough tag team. They're still a high top tag team. FTR. I mean, they have 3 sets of titles. Adam H says, I want the Briscoes to win more than I want any other result on the card. I'm just sorry it won't happen. They need to tear down the unified belts if they aren't going to have the AEW belts too. Really, you think it'll happen? There's hope. I really think it needs to happen. Because it's like, one of my friends was telling me, they're not going to defend the AAA tag team titles again until October. I'm like, October? Titles are meant to be defended. This ain't the UFC. And there's no telling when FTR is going to defend the IWGP tag titles that they won at Forbidden Door. We got the G1 Climax going on, so there's no telling when they're even going to have a chance to defend them in Japan. You know, like, I guess the best they could do is defend them on NJPW Strong, but when will that happen? You know, it's like a lot of people look at holding these multiple titles. You know, Ultimo Dragon once had 10 titles, and I'm like, it was okay because it was treated special and it was something that rarely happened. In this day and age in pro wrestling, you got multiple promotions with double, triple champions. And it's gotten to the point where it's not special anymore. I like fighting champions. I like fighting champions that rack up 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 defenses and more and more. I like fighting champions. Yeah, that's a miss. October can dress as those frogmen again for Halloween by then. FTR, that is. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. That was crazy. That was crazy. But yes, like, I just really, multiple title holders all at once is just, it's overrated now. It's overrated. It's not special anymore because I've seen it so much just in these last couple of years alone. You know, it's just, It used to be special, but it ain't special anymore. But that's just me. But I'm pulling for the Briscoes to pull this off. And then we got the main event, the ROH World Championship. Jonathan Gresham, the Octopus, defends against Claudio Castagnoli, a title that Claudio has never held before in his entire ROH career. Whoo, man. My big question is, would it be too early for Claudio to lose after just coming back into an ROH ring and just becoming a part of the AEW roster? That is the tough question. Whew. Whew, man. And Adam H, you make a good point. Might depend on how close Danielson is to being back. And that's the thing. I would love to see Bryan Danielson versus Jonathan Gresham. You know what? And Tully Blanchard, I'm sure, is going to accompany it. You know what? Some way, somehow, Jonathan Gresham is probably going to pull it off. Might have to cheat to do it, but I think he'll pull it off and retain. I'm going to say Jonathan Gresham retains. I think he cheats to retain. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what they might do. Might be some surprises, but I just yeah. This is going to be an exciting card. Hard to predict, too. And that's what's exciting about this. So I'm looking very forward to ROH Death Before Dishonor. Should be good. Okay. Just a couple of miscellaneous things. Congratulations to Alex Shelley defeating Chris Saban to become number one contender to the Impact Wrestling World Championship. So he gets his shot at Josh Alexander. Looking forward to that. WWE, I mean, really the only interesting stuff that's been going on with WWE, I mean, nothing really interesting with Raw other than a handful of ladies got downgraded to the 24/7 championship. The likes of Alexa Bliss, Tamina, Doudrop, Nikki Ash. Asuka didn't get it, but still, all those women downgraded to 24/7 title. It's crazy. The Miz accepted Logan Paul's challenge, so that's going to happen at SummerSlam. Ugh. For NXT 2.0, the only exciting thing that happened was Zoe Stark's return and her winning the Battle Royal to become number one contender to the NXT Women's Championship. And I really hope she does dethrone Mandy Rose, because I'm sick and tired of Mandy Rose having that title. And she better not beat Shayna's record. But that's really the only exciting thing. I mean, the women's tag team division, dead. And apparently word is that Roxanne Perez is still listed as NXT Women's Tag Team Champion and the other body vacant. So I guess they're going to just, randomly pick a replacement partner for her? But that's WWE for you. But like I said, Zoe Stark's back. Very happy. I love Zoe Stark. I hope she dethrones Mandy. I would love to see that happen. Axiom debuted, which Axiom is a kid. So they made him a mathematician, a mathematical superhero, or a mathematical luchador. This Axiom. Oh, man. He was fine as a kid, if you ask me. But I guess no more omoplata. The A kid. Just like that. A kid. The first NXT UK Heritage Cup champion reduced to Axiom. A mathematical luchador. Yeah. NXT UK. Really the only thing that I'm excited about is we're finally, one, Tyler Bates back, and we're finally going to get Meiko Satomura versus Saray in an NXT UK ring. Now we know that they've wrestled before in Japan, I believe part of Sendai Girls, so they've had history before, but I cannot wait to see Meiko Satomura and Saray go at it, and I hope she puts the title on the line. I really hope she puts the title on the line. That would be really, really cool. SmackDown was butt juice as usual. Nothing special about SmackDown other than, I guess, Stephanie McMahon coming out announcing Vince McMahon's retirement and starting a thank you Vince chant. But SmackDown, nothing special. Nothing special at all. Actually quite lame, if you ask me. Okay. Vince McMahon. We've reached to this point. Vince McMahon. It's so big that this is even on ESPN now. This is the biggest news in pro wrestling history. Vince McMahon is retiring as WWE Chairman and CEO, and also as head of creative. So let me read this. Mark Ramadoni, ESPN staff writer, wrote this article. It says, and I quote, "The most important person in history of professional wrestling is handing over the reins. Vince McMahon is retiring as World Wrestling Entertainment Chairman and CEO," he announced Friday. In a WWE news release, the 76-year-old McMahon further announced that his daughter, and this is interesting, his daughter, Stephanie McMahon, and current WWE president Nick Khan will be taking over as co-CEOs of WWE. Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon, who also has been acting as interim CEO, will also take over as chairwoman. So Stephanie will take over as chairwoman. McMahon had previously stepped down from his role as chairman and CEO in the wake of a Wall Street Journal report that revealed a WWE board investigation into a secret $3 million settlement given by McMahon to a former paralegal. But at the time, McMahon still kept his role as head of creative, and sources told ESPN that McMahon stepping down was done for optics. And then, of course, that ended up being increased to $12 million, given to 4 former WWE employees or contractors. One, being a former wrestler, which rumor is that was Ashley Massaro, but nothing has been leaked or confirmed. But supposedly was Ashley Massaro, which is, may she rest in peace, but that's bad. That's really, really bad. And then Triple H is returning as EVP of talent relations. And the crazy thing is, we have to remember a couple of things. One, WWE is a publicly traded company. Two, I feel like ultimately Vince McMahon doing this was his way of saving face from more humiliation that could have come up through more of the investigation, like more stuff coming out of the investigation. Word is John Laurinitis is out as well. He was on administrative leave, but it looks like he's out. So RIP People Power. And supposedly word is that Bruce Pritchard may be doing creative for SmackDown. But I'm not sure. And we have to also remember Vince McMahon is still majority owner of stocks and shares of the company. So it makes me wonder, like, is he going to willingly sell his ownership? I don't know. If you ask me. Hey, Joey, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming by. This is an awesome stream. Thank you. I appreciate it. But man, like, this is big, y'all. This is the end of an era in professional wrestling. Vince McMahon retiring. A lot of us probably were thinking that he was going to pass away before he ever retires. But man, this is huge. This is huge. Talk about Brock walking out. So, interesting thing about that, because it was said that he was upset and that he walked out with sort of kind of a, if he's out, then I'm out. But he ended up showing up at the end of SmackDown to destroy Austin Theory. So he ended up showing up tonight in Boston on SmackDown. And there were even rumors about Goldberg being his replacement at SummerSlam. But it looks like, I don't know if they worked out a new deal for Brock or whatnot. Something had to have happened that got him to stay and, still do the show. So I'm under the impression that his SummerSlam match with Roman Reigns is still a go. But yeah. It was crazy. It was really, really crazy. But yeah. And like I said, it was only a matter of time before things caught up with Vince. Because, I mean, we're talking about like over 16 plus years of just this stuff uncovering. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Vince didn't leave a mark with WWE. He has. He has. It is hard to mention WWE without Vince McMahon in the conversation. That's why this is such a big deal. That is why this is such a big deal. And there's a reason why WWE over the years made so much more money than a lot of other promotions. Because if it's anything that Vince McMahon was all about, so I know there's a lot of scrambling, a lot of PR fixing, a lot of PR crowd control. And, eventually they're going to be bringing back the TV 14 rating, I think as early as SummerSlam. So don't know how much it'll help, but with Triple H getting his role back, part of talent relations or head of talent relations, that's big. That's big. So I don't know if this is going to affect potentially the sale of WWE, but this is going to be quite interesting with the team of Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan, co-CEOs now. Whew. Triple H, head of talent relations. Oh, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Joey says, do you think Rock versus Roman at Mania will happen, and will it be for the title? No. Roman needs to lose that title way before Mania. He needs to lose that title before Mania. I can't deal with another full year of Roman as champion. Not especially now, unified champion having both main titles. Nah, I can't deal with that. He needs to drop those belts or one of those belts. Dealing with that until another Mania? Nah, I don't think that should happen. I don't think that should happen at all, personally. And honestly, Rock versus Roman just doesn't, it's not that special to me. It's not that special to me. Like, I know a lot of people are hyped for it, but honestly, it's not that special to me. I mean, Rock is 50 years old now, and it's like, I'm not saying that, don't get me wrong. I know we recently had Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens, and I know that was a big deal for Kevin Owens, and that was a good match. I mean, Stone Cold still got it. That's fine. But it's not special to me. Like, somebody that hardly defends their titles and somebody that you nowadays is a part-timer. Roman's a part-timer now. So, disagree. He has something special going. Rock in a title main event would be unreal. Rock's last match. How are you not excited for that? Because it's not special to me. I mean, Rock and Roman in the title match, you know Rock's not going to win. I mean, he's not even, like, Rock's a movie star now. Like, he's been doing a lot more of that. Like, last match, I mean, it's not really special to me at all. Like, especially with Roman in the picture. So another WrestleMania with Roman as the guy, somebody that barely, like, aside from pay-per-views, defends the titles, and most of the time doesn't compete that much on the main roster regular shows. Nah, it's not special to me. There's no hype behind it. Like, I mean, heck, I would care a lot more about Shinsuke Nakamura finally getting his opportunity, which he never got, against Roman Reigns. And we're talking about, remember, Shinsuke Nakamura, who eliminated Roman Reigns to win the Royal Rumble. Why hasn't he gotten his shot? Why hasn't he gotten his shot? Okay, did you think Cena was going to win last year at SummerSlam? No, Roman is the face of the company, and there's no debate. He brings in the viewers. I mean, of course I didn't think Cena was going to win. Of course not. But at the same time, you can't. I'm not a fan of having somebody hold a title that's not a fighting champion, that's treated like a part-timer. So it's also the same reason why I'm not a fan of Brock Lesnar as champion. Treated the same way. I like fighting champions. I like fighting champions and folks that are showcased consistently in promos as well as in the ring. That's what I like. Adam H says, I see both sides. Rock isn't special, but in an era where Pat McAfee is what I'm supposed to be excited about, I'd take Rock right about now. Interesting. That's actually that's an interesting point, Adam H. Very interesting point. Joey says, come on, you can't have a champion who doesn't speak English. Makes no sense business-wise. Excuse me. Shinsuke does speak English. He's done plenty of interviews where he speaks English. That's not an excuse. Asuka was a champion and never lost, never been pinned or submitted on NXT, and English isn't her first language. And she was booked as a great champion. Like, no. A champion that don't speak English, no. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. And Shinsuke speaks good English. And he's done plenty of interviews where he speaks English. So no. No. That makes no sense. I'm sorry. I have to respectfully disagree, but you can't have a champion who doesn't speak English. It's happened plenty of times. That's why a lot of them sometimes have mouthpieces. They make it work. They make it work. Even if they can't speak a lick of English, they make it work with a mouthpiece. Happens a lot in the business, whether it's WWE or anywhere else. So that's my whole thing with that. And the fact of the matter is, there's been a lot of potential that they could have done there, but just bad booking. I mean, he was reduced to tag team. Doesn't happen in WWE. Who has been a non-English speaking champ? Okay, what do you mean by non-English speaking? Are you saying English isn't their? You have to understand, it's not their first language. It's not their first language. So therefore, that's not going to be their strongest language. Shinsuke's been a champion. Asuka. Those are two examples right there. Just because they haven't been a main champion, or at least Shinsuke hasn't been a main champion, doesn't mean that they can't be champion. That's what? Like plenty of times. And even there have been English speaking champions with a gimmick that normally don't speak that have also been champions as well. But yeah, two that immediately come to mind: Asuka, Shinsuke Nakamura. Just because it's not always a main champ doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. But agree, they haven't produced the best product compared to The Rock and Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan, all the best. Okay, first of all, that's not so much on them, but it's on the way that they're booked. It's the way that they're booked. Also, one thing to keep in mind, the way that they're booked. Because trust me, there have been plenty of English-speaking talent that don't get booked well, just as bad as the quote-unquote non-English-speaking or, those that English isn't their first language. And the fact of the matter is, Rock, Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, they're not there. They're not here anymore. They're not doing this anymore. So, I mean, there has to come a time where stars are being built up. That's what the main focus has got to be. And, some are going to be from here. And some are going to be international talent. No, I'm not insane. And it's not all about charisma. That's just one aspect. Because if you have charisma but no in-ring ability, it's a turnoff for me. Asuka has zero of that. Have you seen her character lately? Have you seen her character lately? I beg to differ. Shinsuke, off and on, maybe not as much compared to, or at least not here in the WWE. I mean, you'd have to look at other promotions, before that. Because you have to remember, these folks were in other promotions before WWE. That's another thing you got to keep in mind as well. I mean, after all, you take an example like AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, what they've done together here in the WWE doesn't compare to what they did in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Wrestle Kingdom, AJ and Shinsuke, way, way above WWE, AJ versus Shinsuke. NXT Shinsuke was fire. Agreed. Definitely fire. New Japan, whole nother level. I mean, come on. AJ and Shinsuke, main roster, we had a low blow fest between the two. We had a low blow fest. You know what I mean? So it's just, like I said, sometimes it comes down to the way that they're booked. And it's not always good. I mean, it's one of the issues that AEW has with the women's division as well. Just there's some holes in the booking sometimes. But English is not their first language, doesn't automatically disqualify them. That shouldn't disqualify somebody. If it did, then they wouldn't be there in the promotion in the first place. That's how I see it. If that's such a big issue, they wouldn't be in the promotion in the first place. Adam H says there's physical charisma in terms of mobility, and then there's mic skills. They overlap a lot, but some like Shinsuke have a lot of one without the other. And that's a fair argument. That's a fair argument as well. Like Maurice. I think she's trash in the ring, but yet was a 2-time Divas champ. And she beat Michelle McCool and Gail Kim. I thought that was terrible booking. Terrible booking. And don't even get me started on Eva Marie. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler teamed up. A lot of nastiness. They need to book Drew as champion at Clash of the Castle. Actually, when is that? When is that? Now that you mention that, Joey, when is that again? Oh, September 3rd. Oh, okay. We still got a while. We still got a while before Clash at the Castle. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of card they build towards that. That should be really interesting. But yeah, I'm all about fighting champions. Like, one thing, as you learn more about me, Joey, I'm all about fighting champions. I'm all about in-ring ability. For me, in-ring ability is my top priority. Mic skills are great. They're not the end-all be-all for me, but I am all about in-ring ability. And I do like comedy matches here and there, because I mean you're gonna need those characters. You're gonna definitely need those characters. Your managers, your valets. You need those segments. You definitely need those segments. But top two for me, I like fighting champions. I like in-ring ability. I'm now not really a fan of double champions, because I feel like they're overrated because it happens too much. It used to be rare. It used to be rare and it used to be special, but nowadays, I don't think it's that special. Not many have both, like Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, definitely, he's kind of taken a beating as far as last handful of losses at pay-per-views. So Seth's been, he's good on the mic, like his character, but he's taken some hits in the last handful of pay-per-views. So hopefully he'll get another pay-per-view victory. I mean, he's facing Riddle at SummerSlam. Maybe he can defeat Riddle, but Seth has taken a handful of losses the last handful of pay-per-views. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I tell you, just going back to this Vince McMahon retiring, I mean, I think it's going to take some time for a lot of other things to set in. I mean, I know they've done some role changes and stuff like that, some reassigning of the staff and such. We're on our way back to TV 14. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a bit before we see some of the other necessary changes to really kick in. And after all, like I said, Vince McMahon is still the majority owner. So, don't know how much pull he may have with that, or if he's so eager to sell. But you best believe, knowing Vince McMahon, this is what he's all about at the end of the day. He wants a lot of this. He wants all of this. So, but biggest breaking news in pro wrestling history. I mean, I was so determined that there was going to be, like, when he tweeted that he was retiring, I was thinking, wait a couple of hours, there's going to be a psych tweet. But nah, it's legit. It is legit. I also wonder, Triple H, is his health back in good standing? That's another thing that I'm concerned with. Is his health back in good standing that he'll be able to press on as head of talent relations? Because the health scare, that was a pretty big setback. But it looks like changes and tweaks are coming, especially for NXT 2.0. I've heard. And like I said, main roster, just Raw. While I do get Raw has had more matches lately than SmackDown, just I don't know. Raw has been hit or miss, but it seems like a lot more miss. And just my whole thing is with SummerSlam in 2 weeks, just looking at SummerSlam, so far, the only matches that have me sort of interested, intrigued, are Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. Because like I said, I think Pat McAfee has done well in the ring the few times he's wrestled, especially ever since NXT, where he went up against Adam Cole. I think Pat McAfee looks pretty good in the ring. Of course, there's a lot more that he can improve on, but I think just getting him in the ring more will help. Seth Rollins versus Riddle. I think that'll be a great match indeed. But Logan Paul versus The Miz, not really feeling Logan Paul. I mean, he's got a WWE contract now. Ugh. Becky Lynch versus Bianca for the Raw Women's title. Seen that already. Like, I would have thought that was settled at WrestleMania when Bianca got the title back, but no. Now we're going to see a third title match. I guess tiebreaker, what? I don't know, but The Usos versus the Street Profits, again, for like the 29th time between tag team matches and singles matches. So, but Jeff Jarrett in the mix. So, Double J. Yay. Bobby Lashley versus Theory. I mean, don't want to see that again. And it doesn't look that intriguing because you got the Money in the Bank title holder potentially losing again. So that's going to make him look even weaker. Especially constantly getting thrown around and F5'd like a rag doll from Brock Lesnar. So Becky and Bianca is closing in on Brock and Roman territory. Yeah. Adam, I would agree. I would agree. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. I am just not convinced that Liv will beat her clean. She might win, but I'm not convinced that she beats Ronda Rousey clean. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm not saying Ronda Rousey is going to get the title back, but I just don't see Liv beating her clean. Like, maybe there'll be some sort of interference or what, but I don't see it. And then Roman versus Brock, I mean, that for like the 8th, 9th, 10th time. So, I mean, I don't know. Just SummerSlam just doesn't excite me. It just doesn't excite me. I don't understand how they could even make a Liv win look clean here. Look at the two of them. And that's the thing, Adam. That's the thing. Liv won the title on a Money in the Bank cash-in. I mean, the cheapest way you can win a title in the WWE, Money in the Bank cash-in. So now you're going to have an official normal match between Liv and the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey. I don't know how they're going to pull it off without some sort of interference, or because you would think outside of this being a title match, Ronda would squash Liv. Shoot. And we've already seen tragedies that have happened in the past. Example, Brock Lesnar squashing Kofi. So, I don't know. I just... Yeah. But I am going to leave it at that, because it's getting late and I got to get some sleep and get ready for Stardom In Showcase Volume 1. But yeah, this has been a crazy day. Been a crazy day. Vince McMahon's retiring. Like I said, I feel like he did this to save face because there's no telling what else could have came from that investigation. But yeah, not a good look. But we'll see what happens with WWE as a whole and see how things go going forward. Animation says, thanks, Jason. Wonder if I could get your thoughts on WrestleCade at some point. Oh, I'll be going. I'm going Saturday. I'm only going Saturday. But yeah, I'm going. I think it's definitely worth it. I went last year. I went the last 2 times. I know the year before last was they didn't have it due to the pandemic. But I went the last 2 times, and I had a blast. I think it's worth it. Main thing is if there's certain people that you want to meet, and you're able to pre-order in advance, meet and greet tickets and whatnot, highly suggest that. I'm in Winston and trying to decide if I should go for the first time. I think you should. Whether you go just for one day or the entire weekend, you should definitely go. If you decide to go for one day, I would highly suggest picking Saturday as that one day. But if you can go for the whole weekend, go for the whole weekend. Definitely go for the whole weekend. I've never went for a whole weekend before because for me, just the meet and greets and the super show is enough for me. But if you're able to go for the whole weekend, go for the whole weekend. But if you have to pick one day, do Saturday. And I know it can be tough because it is Thanksgiving weekend. So I know it can be tough, Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday, stuff like that. But I think it's worth it. Definitely worth it. I'm going. So if you happen to go, hey, hit me up. I'll be there. I'll be there Saturday. So, yeah, you should go. But anyway, that'll do it for this live stream. Thank y'all so much for coming by. Joey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving your takes. I appreciate you chiming in on the chat, hearing your takes. I'm always up for a debate. Always down for friendly debates. More than welcome. So hope to see you again. Bring the noise some more next time. Thank you so much. But yeah, for those that catch this later, let me know what your thoughts are. Are you excited for the upcoming Stardom pay-per-views? Are you excited for ROH Death Before Dishonor? How are you liking the G1 Climax 32, the TJPW Tokyo Princess Cup that's been underway, AEW Fighter Fest, 2 weeks in the book, Vince McMahon retiring from the WWE as chairman, CEO, head of creative. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the stream, hit that notification bell, all of the above. And now I'm going to bid y'all farewell and get myself some sleep so I can be ready and energized for Stardom In Showcase Volume 1. This has been another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend. Happy wrestling. Enjoy yourselves. And I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Peace.